Hey y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I'm Susan, your hostess. Today we're going to do a little bit of a random conversation. This is Frugal Living Challenge 25. It is an open collaboration hosted by me. It is a year-long collaboration. We'll end on December the 31st. In order for you to participate, upload your video, use the hashtag Frugal Living Challenge 25 and tag my channel. There's also a playlist you can attach in your description box below your video. So what is this video all about? We went to our local discount grocery and I picked up some black-eyed peas. It was 2 pounds for 99 cents. We actually picked up 4 pounds. And I thought that was a really good buy on black-eyed peas. Why do I stockpile? Well, my husband and I have been stockpiling since before we even got married, really. And we would use the coupon system and buy couponed grocery items at a discounted price. We would look for discounted meats and other items that we could put into our pantry. We also raised a garden in our backyard, and we literally fed our neighborhood, our family, and our friends out of our garden and our pantry. A recent trip to our local Aldi's, I was shocked at the egg prices. For a dozen eggs, it was $5.76, but at Walmart, it was $8 a dozen. At least that's what I was told. And then I was told that Walmart sold out. What caused Walmart to sell out of eggs? Well, we're having bird flu scares, and egg factories are culling chickens, and all of this is driving up the price of eggs. Then there's the pet food prices, and they're up too. $32 for a 10-pound bag of dog food, or even higher depending on where you shop and depending on what brand it is. The cat food was no different. Thankfully, we have a local source that we can buy our chicken feed. $13 a bag for 50 pounds. And we are usually spending about $40 to $50 a week on bird feed. Believe it or not, we are spending that much money on bird feed. How do we cope? How do we cope with this? The prices are just unreal in the grocery store, and that's just a couple of the products that I'm talking about today. So, frugal and intentional living, thriving despite the costs. How are we going to deal with the rapid high prices? Eggs, $5 to $8 a dozen. Pet food prices are skyrocketing. Many senior citizens are on fixed incomes, so intentional spending is needed more now than ever, and not only for senior citizens, for everybody. I don't know how young families are able to cope with the rising cost of rent, insurance, car payments, and grocery bills. Of course, if they have children, those prices go up and up and up. So how do we cope? One of the ways that we can cope is something that I teach on my channel. It's called cooking from scratch. Instead of buying the boxed meals that have all kinds of stuff in there that we don't need in our bodies, look to buy fresh, organic produce whenever you possibly can. Look for ingredients that you can stretch a meal, like beans or rice, potatoes, things like that can stretch a meal. Use what you have on hand. I was raised by a mom and dad that went through the Great Depression and a couple of world wars, and they could stretch that dollar beyond anything that I've ever seen or witnessed. My mother would make do with what she had. If a piece of clothing needed to be fixed, she mended it. If we needed new clothing, sometimes she would take old clothing and make new clothing out of those pieces instead of going and buying the fabric. There are many, many ways that they did this during the Depression. They would turn old clothing into quilts, and we love those quilts this day and age, of course. But they would use what they had on hand. If they were out of flour or sugar, sometimes they could borrow it from their neighbor. And if they couldn't, they would find an alternative that they could use. They became self-sufficient. They didn't depend on anybody else to put food on the table for them or pay their bills. They did it all themselves. And they would barter whenever they could for services that they might need. They learned to shop smarter, and using a discount grocery is a great way to shop smarter because you're getting product that is still usable that might have otherwise ended up in a landfill. Think about that. And I look for discounts whenever I go shopping. So I got the broccoli and the cauliflower actually cheaper at the Aldi store than I did at our local discount grocery, which is a cash saver. And the quality was much better than what I was getting at Cash Saver as well. So I told my husband, maybe we need to shop a little more at Aldi and a little less at the Cash Saver. By choosing wisely which store we're going to shop from, that will send a message when that store starts losing revenue, that they need to have better products and maybe their prices are a little high. So don't just buy because it's convenient for you, but think about what you're buying, how much you're spending, and look for savings wherever you can. Well, friends, I'm contemplating my future, but my future is always preparing. Being prepared is part of my future. And I'm contemplating what the rest of my senior years are going to be like, how I'm going to survive with uncertain times that we live in today. These are supposed to be the golden years, folks. Maybe they'll become golden. Who knows? But we're going to try our best because intentional living means attitude. I'm going to have the attitude of success. I'm going to pull myself up by my bootstraps and I'm going to carry on. I'm going to continue to prep and prepare my household as a Proverbs 31 woman would do. I'm going to continue to downsize everything that we don't need and donate or sell or give it away. And I'm going to continue to be successful at whatever I put my hands to. Thank you, friends, for watching, and may you be fully blessed.